Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 526. Today is Monday, October 24th, 2022. Is that right? Today's the 24th?
No, it's not. It's
It's
the
the 17th.
17th.
Yes, today is the 17th. Monday, October 17th, 2022, as we are recording.
Because we wouldn't be able to do it on the 24th because I have a doctor's appointment.
Right. Episode 526, that which I was going to lead into the fact that we're not going to be able to podcast on Monday next week. Probably have to podcast either Tuesday or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, it is Monday, October 17th, 2022, episode 526. I am Marlicia, also known as Lady Fernico,
Holly also knows Franciscan Gypsy.
and we want to welcome you to the Fun in the Woman Cave. If you are new, we're glad that you are here with us, and we hope that you find something you like. And if you are returning, we are always glad to have you with us. If you are in the shadows, we hope you will maybe join us officially. Maybe consider that if you'd like. Just press the little bell and tap the little bell and press the little subscribe button on your right. It's a little red button, and you will get notifications of when we are up and running. How many projects do you have, Talia?
I believe I have 4. Let me double check my notes.
Okay.
I didn't do a whole lot of work this week. The only reason why I have 4 is because I worked on one today.
I have 5.
Yeah, I have 4.
Okay. So that means I go first. In my Adagio owl mug. Yes, forest animals owl mug. Okay. Isn't that cute? Ty and I were discussing this morning that apparently this is the size mug we like to use, even though it's not quite as large as we sometimes want.
At least
Um,
currently, that's the one I kind of want
yeah.
to use.
We have uh we go through cycles, and
Well, I think as it gets colder, we might find that we want to use the bigger ones.
well, also, whoops. I hope there's not an ambulance going by. I can't tell if it's an ambulance or
It's
police.
an ambulance.
But in any event, that's my tea is it's an Adagio tea. It's called Candy Bar Chai, and it's made by one of our Adagio members, blended by one of our members, and it's Thai chai, chocolate chip, and chocolate chai. Oh, I didn't realize there was Thai chai in here. And I'm having it with a little bit of almond milk and a little bit of sugar and some honey. Just went the whole
Chocolate
9.
whipped, chocolate whipped honey.
Chocolate with honey, yes. I'm not gonna take it down because it's kind of sticky and I don't want my hands to be sticky.
Oh, it didn't get wiped off?
A little bit, honey just kind of sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
I generally use the washcloth.
yeah, I generally use a washcloth or a wet paper towel. This
Hmm.
is the Adagio whipped chocolate honey. This is the larger size. And these are the smaller ones. This is my cinnamon honey. And the one I haven't opened yet is the garden honey. That's this one here. You can see it's a little clearer because I haven't messed with it.
And the calories aren't that different from normal honey.
They're really not. I mean, I think I looked and they were basically the same.
Yeah, it's equivalent,
Yep.
which is interesting.
What are you drinking?
So in my community Adagio mug, give me my bunny one a rest. My bunny one has a chip in the lips. I don't always I want to have something without a chip in the lip today. So what I'm currently having is one I haven't had in a while. This is Black Forest cake. I think I got this one for free. It was one of the ones that if you garnered enough points, you could get a free one. So this has black tea, cocoa nibs, natural chocolate flavor, dark chocolate chips, cherries, natural wild cherry flavor, natural cream flavor. Now this one does tend to be it's a very black tea. So I went ahead and I put some of the chocolate with honey in it, stole some of Mom's because I can't be trusted with it in my
Not, but I
area.
put it way up there.
Yeah, mine where it was at was a little too accessible. Um, and I also put it ends up being 2 tablespoons of vanilla almond milk in this. Now I
Yeah,
don't heat mine up.
it's an ounce.
Yeah, well,
It's an ounce.
it's 2
Two
tablespoons.
tablespoons an ounce. Yeah. So that's what I put of the almond milk in mine as well. It's vanilla almond milk.
It's okay. I probably still wouldn't get this tea again.
I have a small package up there. I don't know if I want to open it. If I might taste it again from yours. If I don't
Hmm.
like it, I'll give the open package of the price to somebody 'cause it's a good tea.
Yeah, I just don't know that it is to my taste.
And for me, I'm not a black tea really. It has to be a chai or it has to be just really well done for me to like a black tea, especially a strong one.
And it might be that I need to cool a little bit, but it's definitely a very strong tea.
Mhm.
And I think the cherries actually do emphasize that a bit because it's weird. I mean, I think it does emulate pretty well. I mean, it's not quite as sweet as a Black Forest cake, but I mean, that all depends on how much sugar you put in. But I
Right,
think it does emulate pretty well. It's been a while since I've had a Black Forest cake.
right.
I do feel you can get a little bit of flavor though.
Right. And for me, not only is the black tea a little bit hit and miss, so is the cherry. Because to
Hmm.
me, a lot of times cherry seems like it's medicinal, like a sucrets. And
Yeah, I don't notice that with this.
I don't necessarily want to swallow a sucrets as a tea. Although a couple of the blender who does this tea, Woody, he has a couple of teas that have cherry in it that are really good.
Well, Mom, you like my gardener, Sam.
Yeah.
And I believe I put cherries in that one.
Was that a cherry or was that dewy cherry?
Hmm.
Was that cherry or dewy cherry?
I've never used dewy cherry.
Okay, because there are two different things.
Oh, okay, no, I just use if I use cherry, it was a normal cherry.
Okay, well, having gone off a little bit on a tangent there with tea, let's move onward. We have three alongs going on. We are in the very last quarter of the tea and tails, and we have the other two are just 1/4 long because we only have 1 year long uh, along at any given time. The packages are all put together. I did get everybody's addresses. Thank you very much for sending them so quickly. They're all packed up. They're sitting, waiting at the door, waiting to go out to the post office when I can get the chance to go to the post office. So they are packaged. They are actually all put together. They just need to get to the post office. Yeah. Um, so moving on to PHNT and Tails. This is our year-long Cal Lao, and it started January 1st, and it goes to midnight going into January 1st of 2023. So it stops December 31st. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. Like we said, don't play around with the time zones too much. We don't always do it right at midnight, but we have some very good moderators who, if we can't get to closing it, she closes it. They're all our moderators are she. So um, at this point,
Yeah, I
so
don't know if we have anyone who's active who is male anymore.
no, I don't know who's active
If they
anyway.
are, they're quiet.
Yeah. But anyway, the moderators are very good. Rena especially is very good about closing them for us when she knows, and she'll give a few hours. She's in central time zone. So if we haven't done it by the time she's up, she kind of, I think she maybe gives it an hour or two and then she closes it for us. So don't bank too much on the fact that Ty and I don't always get it closed on time because we do have moderators who will help us out. Okay.
Hmm.
We don't want you to lose your chances. And we're very appreciative of our moderators.
Yes.
Um, okay, so let's see here. This along, I said where it ran already. The projects must be knit, loomed, or crocheted. Previous whips are allowed. Um, they must be tied in some way, shape, or form to T and or tails. And we've gone over ad nauseum what that means. If you are unsure, it is in the thread in the group, and you must be part of the group to be able to take part in the alongs because that's the only way we can do it. So, excuse me. Um, so it's all there. If you can make a case for T or tails for the project, we will accept it. Okay. We do have featured yarns and featured patterns as always. Anything that is by me, by Talia, or by Laura Concert in terms of yarn or patterns. If you have a finished object, it's 2 chances at a prize for the finished object only. And if you use a featured yarn and a featured pattern together in a finished object, then that's eligible for 3 chances at a prize for finished object only. You are responsible for your own multiple postings. Um, we also have other featured patterns and yarns for this particular along. We have It's as long as it's related to tea and or tails, anything by KF Jones, who is from the Bakery Bears, anything by Mom Cook, and anything by Joanna Johnson. Okay, as long as it fits the parameters. Uh, KF Jones has both yarn and patterns available. The yarn would be stashed most likely because she's not dyeing anymore for her sale. But if you have some of her yarn and you use a pattern that's featured, then that's eligible for 2 chances at a prize. The hashtag is hashtag PHNT and Tails 2022 on Instagram. Okay. And we have 2 prizes for the quarter. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and pull, as I sometimes do, Ty and I talk about it, for an end of year, which we for the entire year, which means the end of quarter will be from the last time I pulled. So from October 1st to the end of the year. But the main prize, big prize, big in quotes, it's not huge, it's just a different prize. That goes from the very first post to the very last post. Everybody will be eligible for that one. Okay.
Right.
Now, the toy along, we have a lot of people who enjoy this. This is one of our first ones. It's one of my favorites. I like seeing the little toys, take shape, the little faces and everything like that, and all the different things. This is one that a lot of people do like. And this goes from October 1st through the end of the year. So like Tea and Tails, once you hit midnight going into January 1st of 2023, this one is done. This is Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so basically the rules are the same, except that it has to be toys. And the featured patterns are the same, all of them this time. Featured patterns and featured yarns are all the same. It just happened to work out that way this time. So me, Talia, Laura, KF Jones, Mom Cook, and Joanna Johnson. Okay, simply because they happen to work. They just have to be toys. If they're toys, then it'll work. And I'm not going to go through this because it's basically the same in terms of whips and FOs and all that kind of stuff. I did forget to say in the other along that if the project, the finished object, is less than 50 yards of yarn, please put it with another project of 50 yards or more. Okay. Let's see here. We have 2 prizes for that. The hashtag is hashtag PHN Toy 2022. And yes, that's that one. I need something to drink because talk. Okay, I'm still not sure about this one, Ty. I think the coconut in it, this has coconut in it. And I like coconut and candy and stuff, but sometimes in tea it leaves an unpleasant aftertaste, and I think that's where I'm getting with this.
And maybe you should do it with just the sugar instead of the chocolate honey. I might do it the next time with the Black Forest, because sometimes since the chocolate honey isn't as quite as sweet.
I've done it with just the sugar.
Yeah.
But I haven't done it with just the sugar and the milk.
Yeah.
The milk. So I might try it again. I probably won't get this particular one again. It doesn't matter. This blender has so many teas that I love. It doesn't matter.
And this one improves with sitting. I
Mhm.
still wouldn't get it again just because it's not my favorite.
Well, this one
But
improves. This one improves with sitting as well. But like you said, not enough. The aftertaste is off-putting for me. And I love Mounds candy bars, and this tastes like a Mounds candy bar. But it's just with the Mounds, it's done. With this, it kind of sits on your tongue.
well, this is like a Black Forest cake, and even though from what I remember, I like Black Forest cake. Black Forest cake is a very strong flavor, and it's Black Forest cake isn't always like sweet either. It's
German
interesting.
chocolate cake isn't always sweet either. It's the topping that makes it sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to the next along, which is our final along. This is the Out with the Old Cal Lao. This goes again from October 1st through December 31st. So once we hit January 1st, it is done. And this is when we finish all the things. In January, we'll do the Ready, Set, Go. But right now, we're doing the Out with the Old. And this is going to be where we finish all the stuff on the hooks, the needles, the loom knits, that kind of things. So if you want to try and finish something before just saying, oh, I'm going to toss this thing in January, just try and get it off the hooks and needles now, and you might be able to get a prize for it. Okay, there's no parameters for this at all. except for the fact that it has to be already in progress as of October 1st. And the featured yarns and patterns are just mine and Laura's and Talia's. Okay. Let's see here. And we will have 2 prizes for that. We are very grateful. I do want to thank our donators. We have some wonderful donators who just keep us in prizes, which is very helpful.
Yes.
Sometimes we have people who occasionally help us with shipping. Thank you very much. You guys, we can't do this kind of thing without you, so we're very, very appreciative. Thank you. Okay, so that leads on to whoops.
Which is you start.
Mm-hmm.
Although we're not so far different that you have to do any doubles or anything.
No doubles. It's just one more. Okay. I was trying to finish my tea before I got this out because it's white, and with my luck, I will just spill on it. So in my knitting's my bag. Again, I'm sorry guys, the light over here is a little different than where we usually sit, which is over there. So this doesn't look like it's supposed to look, but it's kind of a black bag with purple. It's not quite as, I don't know what it's doing, kind of weird, not quite right. But this is my Welcome Little One project from the On the Porch blanket knitting pattern by 5410 Studio. And I am determined to finish this because I haven't yet finished one of their patterns, and I love their patterns. So I did some work on it.
So that does help towards getting it done.
So you can see, whoops. And there's no like, this is not one of those mathematical things. This is just following the pattern. It's not hard. It's really actually a lot of fun. I have to see what row I'm on here in terms of what I'm doing. I think it's just a straight knit. And I'm not sure if I got this one free or not because they had for a while there, I don't know if they're still doing it, but for a while they would put things out and they would just be free. That's why I have so many of them because I picked them all up and they were free, because they were just beautiful patterns. And I did pick up some that I bought as well. But and the yarn is Lady Furniture Creations and Bare Necessities. It's a bulky yarn. So that's all I have to say about that.
Okay, so next is me. So let me go ahead and pull my notes up. And by pull them up, I mean because I only worked one project each day. It's easy enough. I just go for my little book instead of writing my note. So
right.
Okay, so first of all,
I forgot to turn the fax machine on. I'm gonna be off screen. Ty will be talking.
okay. No, that's the right bag. I'm surprised I didn't work on that one. Okay. Not that bag either. Maybe it's in this one.
That didn't take too long.
Nope, not that bag either. It's gonna take a second because I can't remember which bag it was in.
What are you looking for?
Well, you wouldn't remember what it's in anyway.
What are you looking for?
Well, I don't want to tell you until I pull it up.
Well, secretive.
Ah, there it is. So, in my Cloverbird Piggy's bag.
Piggy wiggies. Piggly wiggly.
Really cute fabric.
The
little face.
I'm not normally drawn to pig type things, but that one's cute.
Yeah. I mean, I had a grandpa's whole pig collection for a while. I'm not a huge collector. But I don't know what happened to it after I was like,
eventually gave it away. I think we talked to Grandpa. I think we eventually gave it away. I think.
Which is sad because it was developed over a bunch of years, but I didn't want a pig collection. It was his pig collection.
And how you got it?
They were getting rid of it, and they're like, "Here, Talia." So I had his ginormous.
You must have said something because they wouldn't have thought you wanted
to pick. No, I didn't. Or maybe they're like, "We're getting rid of this. Can you take this?" And rather than just be like, "Oh, let's get rid of this," because I wouldn't have volunteered for that otherwise. Because I don't hate pigs, but the big thing about it was that we'd given him that for like eons.
Well, not just us. He collected every time.
Yeah, a lot of them was from us though. Like we'd find something at pig.
No.
Okay.
He had too many for just because. He just picked them up here and there. I mean, your grandfather is like a thrift shop person. He picks up little things and I mean, I can remember going with my grandfather, with Father, to places.
I mean, I have things I collect, but not to that extent. I mean, I'm not sure if you can call it collect when I have my bunny stuffed animals because some of them are Davina who just knows I like bunnies and she'll just be like, if I, she'll just, she used to do this especially when you guys were out and about more. If you guys
Mhm.
would go to CVS or Martin's or something, especially around Easter time when they would have
Well,
bunny stuffed animals out.
she would love to do that. She thought, I mean, I have a gazillion owls for the same
Mhm.
reason. I mean, I do like owls, but I have a gazillion owls because she just picks them up for me.
I do love my bunny stuffed animals that I have. And she'll sometimes come in here and count how many bunnies I have.
We should do the same thing with the owls. To come in, how many owls to count them all? It's like, yeah,
So I'm not sure. I think she just A, she likes counting them, and then B, I think part of her is like, okay, now she has this many. She really does like picking them up.
yeah.
But
Just a way that she can make you happy. So,
mhm, mhm.
because I
And
know
it's
Dad,
easy because I think sometimes it's hard for her to figure out like what to get us, but she knows you like owls and she knows I like bunnies.
mhm.
But anyway, in this pig bag, these are my great grape socks. The pattern, I think these are the not just boring dad socks. Let me double check because the whole not just boring. Yeah, these are not just boring dad socks. And I think if I could find a plain fingering weight yarn, I might make dad his first fingering weight pair of socks. And I don't think he would wear these. Not to mention it's the wrong size.
uh, that would be dicey. I think if you had a more of a reversal where the pops were more the kind of pink instead of the white, yeah, he's not a. He would think that was too variegated, too girly.
That's what I thought. Even though this is a fairly masculine sock,
Yeah,
I
well,
don't think.
I think it's unisex actually.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I could see where someone not dad.
Hmm.
But I don't think any of the West Yorkshire spinners would work for him.
Mm-mm.
Um, Not to mention, I want something for him that's easily washable.
Yes,
Uh, I'm sure I have something in my stash that I can use for him because then I can use not just. I've been, or I'd rather almost though I get you to dye me some sport weight
I can do
bec-
that.
because um and I might beg it off you sooner rather than later so I can cast it on
Mhm.
because that's something he likes at Christmas time.
Yeah, he's. I think he likes having things made for him. Yeah, and
So
he has two scarves from me and a hat that I made.
he
And
has
one of the
two
scarves,
pairs of socks for me. I haven't worked on a sweater for a while, but I will get back into that. But I'm gonna try to keep the tradition that I've had for the past couple of Christmases of having a pair of socks for Christmas.
well, I think it's
Um,
funny. Oh, and he also has a tie from me.
yes.
I think it's funny because one of the first things I gave him, I didn't know what to make for him because I didn't know if he wanted anything. And I was doing a test knit for Anastasia's Hotel with a slip stitch scarf. And that's what he wanted. He took it.
Mm.
I said, okay, you can have it. He said, yeah, but just get rid of the fringe. So, yeah.
I do remember that. So yeah, Mom,
Mhm.
if you could, and you know your choice of the color. Oh, a masculine blue might be nice. He has a gray and he has a brown.
Mhm.
Whatever blue you think would be that he would wear.
I have to think about it.
Because yeah, I kind of, if possible, I'd kind of need it sooner rather than later so I can cast it on and have it done for him in time for Christmas. And maybe then you'll have one for the shop.
Right. Well, I mean, I could do, it came upon a midnight clear, but that's almost black.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. I have to think about it.
Well, I was almost thinking, tell me if I'm wrong. It's almost like a dusky blue
Hmm.
where it's not too of a gray. I'm having trouble like describing. It's like a lighter blue, but like a more somber tone, not like a sky blue, but like a more somber
Okay.
tone
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
to it, but not like gray blue. I'm not sure how to describe what the name of that color is. Um,
I have to take a look at a few pictures of things and you can show me what you're talking about.
yeah, because it's a masculine blue, but it's definitely different than his gray and his brown. Because I want to have a little bit of variety for him, and I like doing the the heavier weight works up faster. And then B, I think he likes the warmer ones around.
I should make
What?
you, I should make him like either cask of amontillado or what a maroon for Christmas for New Year's.
That would work. That would
Yeah,
work.
because it's
And then
solid and it's not feminine. I mean,
yeah,
women can wear it, but it's
yeah,
not. I
but
don't
it's
think
he wouldn't think it's feminine.
no.
That's what the important thing is.
No.
Yeah, and then that'll give you time to figure out the other blue, and you already had the cask of amontillado, and it's a good Christmas color
Mhm.
to have in your shop.
So that one and the what a maroon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever you.
I think I have a what a maroon already made up.
But do you have in the right weight?
Depends on what weight you want it in.
Sport.
But I don't have any sport.
Yeah, the only I need sport because I need it to work up fast enough.
Because I don't, unless somebody orders something in sport for me, I really don't usually make it up because it doesn't sell
Can you
usually.
dye a sport with a fingering weight? So you have a fingering with the for the shop?
Yeah, I can. I mean, I have to just figure out a way to differentiate. That's all.
Hmm.
You know, it's not a big deal.
Okay, because then you could have one for the shop, and then I can have what I need. Uh-huh. And I mean, I'll get it. I'll purchase it from you, so you have another sale in the shop.
Yeah.
I know I have my discount. I
Oh yeah,
have to ask you.
you have a discount, and
I'll
you
have
have
to
no
ask you
shipping.
what that is because it's been a while since I've used it.
Yeah, I have to look at it. I may have to change it, depending on what the code is. Um,
Yeah, I haven't changed yours yet. But
yeah.
anyway, this is what the great grape looks like. The gray is actually I think this is poppy seed and it's a West Yorkshire Spinners.
To me, poppy seed is darker, but that may be just me misremembering.
Yeah, it's poppy seed.
Mm,
Poppy no, part of the poppy seed is that gray. There is
yeah,
a dark, almost black part of it, but
yeah,
part of it
yeah,
is that gray. Uh-huh. And then this one, oh yeah, that's right. This one doesn't have a color name.
right.
Um, this is Happy Sheep.
I was gonna say
Dog,
that. I'm sorry. I was gonna say that looks like what Yorkshire Spinner, but it's not, right?
it's not. It's I used it with West Yorkshire Spinners because neither of them are superwash.
Mhm.
So um then I know that the one of them won't stretch in a weird way with the
Mhm.
other. Now, the West Yorkshire Spinners has some BFL in it, so it's a 75 30, 75% wool, 30% nylon, I think it's nylon. For both of them, but for the West Yorkshire Spinners, 25% of the 70%, I think it's 73, maybe 75. I'm sorry, 75, 25 for both of them. But
Yeah.
25% of the 75 um for Western Spinners is BFL, whereas this one is just straight 75, 25.
The third of the wool is blue face Leicester for the West
Yes.
Yorkshire Spinners.
And I think that makes the West Yorkshire Spinners actually a little bit softer than
Mhm.
this one. This one's a little bit more scratchy,
Yeah.
at least in the skein. I'm sure it'll wash softer like most of them do.
Right.
But yeah. And it's got like various shades of purple in it.
Very pretty.
Uh, and it almost goes into maroony. It's like light purple to normal purple to almost like a maroony color, and then black and white and a little bit of gray. Yeah. Like I said, someone who if you have a guy who doesn't mind variegation,
Mhm.
this would work, but for dad, this would be a no.
Your grandfather would wear that. Of course, your grandfather will wear anything you make.
Oh, I can make it neon pink, and Grandpa would probably wear it.
Yeah. Can you see Grandpa walking around with neon pink socks? He'd get a kick out of it. And he'd pull up his pants and say, my granddaughter made this for me.
Right, right.
Because he would. My dad's a pistol.
Socks are
Whatever.
difficult though. You really do need to have like someone in the house or know just happen to know what the person's foot size is because it's not just something you can guesstimate.
Right. No,
I
you
guess
don't
it's the
want
same with sweaters, but
well,
um
with sweaters, it could be a little baggy and it's okay, it's just a little loose or whatever, especially pullovers.
yeah.
But socks, you don't want them like maybe rolling down or you can't get it over your foot or something,
Or too baggy in the foot.
Yeah.
Um, that's also a problem. So yeah, I don't tend to make socks for people outside of the house where I can I have other socks to compare to.
Right.
I know that mom and I can wear the same size.
It's easy enough
Dad's
to
foot
say.
actually isn't any longer than ours. It's just wider.
Yeah. He wears a
So
big shoe though.
he does, but I think it's for width. I think because when
I can't. His shoes are too long for me.
they're almost perfect for me.
They're too long
I'm
for
a
me.
little my foot's a little bit longer than yours.
They flip and they flop on me. So
They don't flop a whole lot on me.
Daddy doesn't have big feet for a guy.
No, he doesn't. I think a lot of where the floppiness comes for me is the width of it because it's a
Mhm.
male width
Yeah.
of foot, and I've got a very slender foot.
Yeah, I do
Um,
too. But see, I also it flops just because there's space. It just flops. So
um, if his foot was a little less wide, I think it would be almost perfect for me.
mhm, mhm,
He doesn't have a very long foot,
mhm.
but yeah.
Okay. Oh, before I get into my next project, and I need to change this in the group. I'm not sure why we didn't have this in the first place for the toy along. Crystal, Crystal of
Oh
Glam
yeah, why
Crystal.
didn't we have her?
Her toys are featured pattern. Okay, so if you had Mr. Purrs a lot, or the unicorn, or the puppy, or Mr. Barks a lot, or Pal, she has a
I
gnome, I
think it is
think.
Mr. Barks a lot.
And I think she has a gnome. Um,
Yes, the gnome is fairly recent, I think.
yeah. So Pat, if you want to crochet a gnome, Pat is our gnome whisperer. She has all those. Uh, Crystal is one of our featured for the toys. Okay, so she has a whole selection of little toys that are adorable. So
Yeah,
uh,
I think I picked up Mr. Purrs a lot fairly recently when I needed to pick up some stuff for my shop. I'm not quite at the point of well, I'll talk about shop news later.
Davina tends to loves hers. I was looking at Mr. Perslock and he's starting to get a little bit misshapen.
Is he? Okay, well that's cool because
Just a little bit, but she stepped
um
it really well, so it's not
be-
overly misshapen.
because it's sometimes she's hit and miss,
Yeah,
and she Mr. Purrs a lot was a huge hit. That's great.
yeah, because usually it has to be realistic for her
Hmm.
to like it. So Crystal really hit a home run with that, and
Yeah, that's great.
Also the fact that Crystal made it for her.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
but yeah, so just I just wanted to
Well,
let you
is
guys
it?
know.
I think something that will help her if she doesn't. If it's a huggable, she
Yes.
loves cuddly toys that she can
Mhm,
cuddle with.
mhm.
And I think because that one's fairly big, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good size. I don't see anything here that's comparable. I think it's
Because she
probably
likes stuff that she can cuddle. So if it were,
it's about this big,
yeah. So
okay.
like for her, even if it's not real, if what tends to make it up, or if it's not realistic, if it's big enough to cuddle, I think.
Yes, I think so. She likes to cuddle, and she likes the fact that people think of her. So she
Yes, she
absolutely loves
does.
that.
Yes, she does.
Um, she so anyway, that a long way around of saying that Crystal should be added to the list of featured patterns for the toy along,
Hmm.
because we like to support our fellow podcasters who are who have been really special to us, and Crystal has been that way. So
Yes.
so we want to make sure of doing that. All right, let me just get this. I've been waffling long enough to get this off the needle here.
Well, we're waffling a lot this time, but
Yeah,
we have very few projects, so it works out okay.
yeah, and no prizes or anything. So
Yeah, exactly.
let me just. Um, well, I think that they're used to us waffling, so I think they wonder what's wrong if we're not.
This actually improves quite a bit when it cools. As it gets colder, the cherry really comes out.
Does it?
Yes, you can still and you can taste the chocolate more. Whereas at
Okay.
the beginning, the black tea predominates to the point that it's almost bitter.
I
Um,
probably won't drink it if I may not. I'd rather just taste yours and see if I like it than
yeah,
open it.
I'll try to save enough of this for you after we're done
Mhm.
because it's actually quite a bit sweeter now. And like I said, the cherry's coming out, the chocolate's coming out more. I think it's just that when it's hot, it's black tea. And
Right.
I
And
mean,
I
I've noticed I've noticed this with coffee too. If it even has a chance of being bitter, it's gonna be that way when it's hot, but as it cools, it tastes better.
Right. And this cools really well also, but I still don't think I'll get this again. Um, unless I can get a sample size. The thing about the sample sizes for the tandem blends is you have to get the tins, and I don't want
Yeah.
more tins. So I need to talk to somebody over Adagio and say, hey, can we make it so, all right, we buy the first one in a tin, and then can we work something, we get a small envelope like you do for all the other ones, even if you still have to pay the same price.
I want to say there was a point where they were having problems getting the envelopes for one of the sizes at one point. I don't remember what. Maybe I
I don't,
misremembered. Maybe it's they were having problems on the tin, looking on the
I
tin.
don't know. I don't know. Okay, my next one is it is my bag, large angel bag. That's this one. Angels are for all year round, not just Christmas. So here we go.
I think Christmas bags are for all year round too.
I do too. It's okay.
And
So
I'm gonna
this,
pull out my Christmas mug for Adagio at one point just cause.
I don't have it yet, but I think that's the next one I'm going to get.
Well, the next one I want is the smiley one
I
from
want that
Adagio.
too, but I want a Christmas first. Besides, I'm one behind you. So,
Mm,
um,
aren't we equal?
no, I just have the community and this one. That
Oh, okay.
so, um, I'm going to have to start putting some of these that I'm not using as much, um, up on my shelf. I want to use this one, but I have to figure out how to measure how much tea to put in.
Right. No, I have my Christmas one too for that. That one I think is just a smidge more than our normal ones.
It's like 18 ounces. It's
Is
quite
it
a bit more. Yeah, because our normal one's 14,
okay?
15.
I know it was less than my crystal one.
Oh,
Um,
crystal, that one was huge.
that one was like 20 ounces if I
Yeah,
remember correctly.
yeah. And
Um,
this is between crystals and the next size down, which is like 16 or 15 or whatever it is. But here's my film noir shawl. Can you see that? Yeah, yeah, now you can see the color better. See how it's working up here? And I'm enjoying this. I've been able to work while we watch movie or watch television. My husband doesn't like me to do it, as I said before. Or maybe I said it during the live stream,
you've said it at different points.
that if we're having a date night, he prefers that I not be crafting because generally we pick a movie that requires some attention. Like this last time for date night, we watched Source Code. And if you don't sit there and watch it, you're gonna miss something. Grandma would hate it, Taya. Grandma
Oh
would
yeah. Well,
absolutely hate
I
it.
heard it in the background. He doesn't even like someone in the kitchen. I think it ruins the
Atmosphere.
movie theater vibe for him. I actually had to turn on the oven, not the light above the stove. It was enough
Mhm.
for me to work by.
Yeah, well,
But
you're used to working with low light, so
yeah, but it was low enough that it didn't bother him because he really likes to have the theater effect.
and
But I
especially since a lot of our date nights, except for once a month, our date nights are at home, and
yeah,
so we want to be able to have that real feel of being out on a date. So, um,
but I try to respect the fact that um I think it was Dad in particular who requested that I not use the stove at night when you guys were asleep because he was afraid I'd forget to turn it off.
right,
Uh, so,
yeah, because
uh,
yeah,
so
you
I,
never know sometimes.
because yeah, sometimes I can be forgetful, with the pots, but
I keep, I keep remembering the time I said to her, "Oh, there's something." I was defrosting something or other, and I told her to put it back in the fridge. She was on night shift, and she left it out. And so I had to go
uh,
out. She bought it. She bought the meat for us. She replaced it for us. But
no,
it was a turkey or a ham or
what it
something.
was is you told me to start defrosting it by putting in cold water, and I couldn't remember what kind of water, so I did hot.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, something like that. And
Okay. All I
yeah, I
remember
went
is
in
that we,
and bought a new one.
yeah,
I was working night shift. I should have
yep,
written it down.
yep.
Uh-huh.
It was really funny because, you figure, okay, she's up at night. This is nighttime. She should be fine. And we didn't know yet, she hadn't been diagnosed with anything. She was still working and everything. She bought
Well,
it, but yeah,
It was fairly early on. I'd already had some of the heart rate issues, but it had been dismissed. So, um, at that point, we really didn't know that I had anything, but the fatigue
Right.
was getting worse and worse.
We just thought that it was night shift.
Exactly.
We were trying to get her to go to day shift, but she, or something, but
Mm-mm.
she didn't want to do
No
that.
way.
Well, especially since you wouldn't be able to go to weekend mass. That was
Um,
one of the big things.
I hated the few times I worked day shift. I hated it.
Mhm.
Night shift is so much nicer.
It was quieter.
You don't use a Q word.
Well, you know what I mean. I can say it because I'm not there, and you're not working
Well,
that day.
apparently during day shift, there was a point that one of the doctors watched it. I think it was Dr. Melf, one of our surgeons. He walked in and was like, "Oh, it's nice and quiet today." And I guess he walked away, and then it exploded, and like everything went crazy. And when he
Is that
came
Dr.
back,
Melton?
it was Dr. Melf. I want to say it was Dr. Melf who did it. And when he came back
Something he
later,
would do that just he would do that just
well,
to
he
do
was,
it.
I think he was just, I don't know, but he came back later, and they're like, "Look what you did."
He's fun. He's fun.
But he was always one of my favorites because he's the only doctor I've ever had who's apologized after he snapped,
Hmm.
snapped only a little bit when someone
Hmm.
woke him up. I've had doctors like be absolutely awful, not apologize, and he snapped just a smidge. And like I said, I turned to the nurse who worked with me. I'm like, when we see him in the morning, he'll apologize because that's just the kind of person he is. Sure enough, came in the morning, he apologized. But no other doctor would I have ever expected that. He's just an
Right.
awesome guy.
He's very nice. He is. But I forget where we got onto that. Anyway, this is moving along fairly well. I'm not sure yet which color is going to be. I mean, it's going to be all grays and blacks and stuff like that because it's based on noir movies.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just going to keep going with this color for a little while, and I may do what Laura's been after me to do and just kind of let it peter out and go from there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just at the edge. Um,
Right.
we'll see. We'll see if I can actually do that or if I hate it and have to change it. So, um, yeah, that's what I have to say about this. This is mostly Miss Babs and Dragonfly Fibers and just various different yarns.
What's Dragonfly Fibers? Because I know the variegated is Miss Babs.
I think the silver is a
Oh, that's
uh
right. The silver is something like District 12, isn't it?
I forget.
I
Um
want to say it was a Hunger Games.
I mean I do have Hunger Games in here, one of the darker ones. At least I think this one is.
You need
Um
to check your yardage for ruse metal or whatever that is, because I know you wanted me to make that cow for you out of it.
the one that
That Pat
Pat made,
just
yeah.
hopefully she was able to get it up on Lovecraft because they were giving her a hard time. Pat
I
made
think
a cow.
it's like 340 yards or something like that.
Okay,
So
so if you have enough in ruse metal, I know you wanted me to cast that on for you
yeah, I have it.
because you've been trying to figure out what to do with ruse metal and like for forever.
Yeah, because I love Rue, and I won that yarn from Spicy Mama, so Spicy Homemaker.
So it's like a doubly special.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll have to. That has silk in it. That's why I've been dragging my feet because I wanted to find a project that could go around my neck.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and silk, like it drapes so nicely. I have a oh Zuzu's petals that
Mhm.
I made out of, I want to even say it was like a silk, maybe a little bit of alpaca, maybe not, I can't remember. It was some of Black Rizona's because I
Right.
have a matching set. I have the Diana's hat with the cow for the Zuzu's petals uh cow. Uh and yeah, it's a matching Black Persona set.
Hmm.
Um it's got like it's like maroons and it's actually kind of a odd palette for me, but I loved it so much and I loved the way it felt. I just had to.
Yeah, yeah. I know you
Um,
made me a set of I don't know what yarn you use, but I have the mitts and the hat and the I think it's either Duke or Zuzu petals. I think it's
it's
a Duke.
that one. I can't remember how many you do. I think it was Duke.
I think it
Um,
was.
And that one was, I want to say Mad Tosh.
Hmm.
And what was awesome about it because it was red, I
Hmm.
was able to convince, make you think it was for me. I never said it was for me, but I also never said it wasn't for me. Um, yeah, that
I
was,
loved it.
I don't know if I made the hat for you. I at least did the
You did make me a hat.
finger. Did I? Okay.
Mhm.
It was
I don't know
before
if
the,
it's the same. I don't know if it's the same yarn, but it was given as a set.
yeah, I know, I want to say that the mitts was the same yarn as
Mhm.
the Duke, but I'm not sure about the hat. It was close enough at the very least.
Right.
Um, but
But
I've
yeah,
made the Diana's hat out of multiple weights. Davina tends to prefer the fingering weight 'cause she likes a lighter hat, but
right,
she has both weights.
right.
Although she now always asks for the Davina hat.
So that's the first particular hat.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's all I have to say about this one. I mean, it is growing. I'm hoping that when you see it next week, I'll be on another color. And
Yeah.
we have a doctor's appointment before that, so maybe I will.
Yeah. Okay, so next for me, let me pull up my notes. Where are my notes? There they are. I've actually only done like one project. It feels like Mhm.
I thought you said you did four.
I only showed one.
Oh, one. Yeah. Mhm.
It's in this bag. Yeah. So in my Sewshed USA Beauty and the Beast library bag, uh, got the gold on the inside, which I mean that's Belle's dress. Belle is in the library in the dress apparently. Wait,
Right.
did no? She wasn't wearing the dress when he gave her the library. She was wearing her normal clothes.
But that doesn't mean she didn't go in there with her dress later.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was just trying to remember,
Yeah.
and I don't count the live action.
No, I've got the blue, which means beast, in there.
Yeah, or it could be
So
Belle's dress that she was wearing when she went in there,
could be.
because her traditional outfit is the blue and white. That's what she wears most of the movie. No, I mean, honestly, I think the only live action one that I actually liked better than the cartoon was Jungle Book.
Mm,
Well, also I was never a huge fan of Jungle Book,
right.
so I enjoyed Jungle Book as
I
a
enjoyed
live
it.
action. The others, not so much. Oh, Cinderella. I actually really enjoyed the most recent Cinderella.
I haven't seen it.
Um, Cinderella actually, there's been a couple really good Cinderellas. Um,
I like some of the Alice in Wonderlands that have come out. Um, I love the one that's set in the city. It's she goes through Looking Glass after the prince. Um, it's the one with the lady from SGI, Stargate
is she
SG1.
one? Which
Uh,
one? Not
uh,
Sam.
no, the doctor, the
Oh,
original,
okay,
the original doctor is the
okay.
mother.
Janet Fraser.
Huh?
The doctor's name was Janet Fraser. I don't remember the actress's name. She's cute.
Yeah, she was the mother of Alice, and so I liked it was kind of a quirky and have a cute little relationship with Alice and Hatter, which is really well done. And it's a cute movie. I like it. It's got Matt Frewer, I think his name is. I think he was the one who played in Max Headroom way back in the day, way back in the 80s. So I enjoyed it. Oh, it's got the lady who played in Misery, playing the Queen of Hearts.
Oh,
And
oh.
it has what's his name? Colum, the guy who played in Star Trek as the uh transporter chief. Um
Um,
the blonde with the curly hair.
I actually don't know his name.
But
It's
you know
not the
who
same one as the one who plays in Mission Impossible, even though they're.
no, no.
I mean, I
Mm-mm.
know he's also. I think he's a comedian, and I think he is actually Scottish. Or maybe he's put on Scottish accent. I don't know, but he plays Scotty.
He's not the engineering. He's the transporter chief.
Oh, he plays O'Brien.
Yes, O'Brien.
Okay, I
So
don't
he was
remember.
in that.
I don't remember what O'Brien even looked like in that.
The long way of saying that that's the one I like. The one with all those people in it.
Hmm.
Of Alice, the most recent rendition.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
yeah,
there's been a couple good ones, but yeah, honestly, and I know the Cinderella one got a lot of flack for the people were complaining that she wore a corset, but I think it only looked as tight. I think it only looked like it was tighter because she had such a big gown, and that's actually what they used to do. You didn't actually have to tight lace necessarily if you made the gown wider, because if your gown looks wider, it makes your waist look smaller.
mhm.
Um, it's an
Unless you're
optical
gone with the
illusion.
wind and you have to pull tight.
Hmm?
Gone with the wind.
Oh yeah, well that was Scarlet though,
Mhm.
being Scarlet.
That was
Didn't
actually Mammy.
she
That was
wanted
actually
it tight and Mammy didn't want her to do it as tight, right?
no. Mammy wanted to make it as tight as possible, and then because Scarlett wouldn't stop eating, and
Oh, okay. I
you know,
couldn't remember who wanted it tight.
you know,
Um,
she wanted to still have that they were saying 24-inch waist or no 14-inch or something. It was some ridiculous number, 14
well, I
inches.
remember in Little House on Prairie books, I think it was actually the first one where Laura overheard one of her aunts talking to one of the other aunts about how Laura's mom's waist was so used to be so small or was still so small that Laura's father could like his hands
Right, right,
could touch. Now he might have had huge hands,
right.
probably did,
I mean,
but
it's a little unrealistic, especially if after you have 5 kids. Okay.
I mean she would have only had two at that point, but
I
they
don't
might have
care
been saying
how
when
many
she was
kids you have, that's going to change the waist size.
for sure. I mean I it might have been pre-marriage or at her when she got married that they were talking about
Mhm.
that. Referring back because I can't imagine, like you said, after she had two kids, especially since I mean I know they were very active back then, but
It doesn't necessarily mean that your waist will stay small. It just means that you won't have any fat.
yeah,
You
I
know,
mean you'll see some of people like who have like really access to really great fitness trainers and things like that. They might keep it all, and they also are naturally blessed. I mean, you see it with Catherine Princess of Wales and a couple of other the royals, but they have access to like everything and they just got blessed genetically.
yep.
Um some people doesn't matter. You just aren't blessed genetically in that way, or your body shape is
Well,
whatever.
your body shape is different. Your small is different than somebody else's small. And
Right, exactly.
that's why we shouldn't be comparing ourselves to each other because we have different body types.
Right, exactly. And you just, yeah. Anyway,
And
not
that was
everyone,
that's ended the soapbox. Moving on.
exactly. So this is my first of the Kingfisher socks. And this is
What bag
the,
was it in?
I already mentioned is the Beauty and the Beast. That's what got us on this rant.
Let me see the bag again. Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. Wow, we really did that.
Um,
I forgot what bag it was in.
so this is, I have to look at the pattern name again. It's a Virginia Rose jeans pattern, and I think this is vanilla latte. I have two vanilla, yeah, vanilla latte. These are vanilla latte socks. I really enjoy this pattern. It feels like a KF Jones sock, but it's not KF Jones. Um, and this is the Kingfisher colorway. Um, and I have the um blue, which is here it is.
Juniper?
Juniper. Yeah. The blue is juniper. And that's for my heels and toes. So I think now since I actually have the orange yellow, if I have enough later on to make socks still, I might not. I probably won't. But if I did, or even if I could make a shorter version, I might do it with the orangey yellow because that would be really nice too. Because that's what I originally wanted, but I couldn't get the orangey yellow, so I had picked up the juniper.
Right.
But I am glad I have the juniper because it is very
Okay.
nice.
Very pretty.
Um, but yes. And here's the second sock. I am out of the decreases. and am just knitting for the foot. That was my big goal this week, was to get out of the decreases, because I know that I want, this pair of socks is almost done. I just need to get it done, and then I can focus on I have so many socks and needles right now. I need to get some of these off. And I know I have more socks than I probably should on the needles, simply because I had this like fantasy that I would do all this knitting while I was in recovery. And yeah, that has not happened.
Well, it's better to be prepared in case you
Yeah, if I hadn't had all socks and needles, I would have been like able to knit all the time, and I would have been wishing I had it. But yeah, that's all with that. It takes more for a tangent than show the actual project.
I just close this off so I don't lose my stitch. Okay. There we go. Oh, there goes my show notes. They didn't actually go anywhere. It's just my screen closed off. Because everything gets done on screens now. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but there you go. Okay.
Well, in some ways, it's just easier. It saves paper.
Yeah. In my Knit for Brains owl teapot bag that was given to me by Laura Concert. Come here. There it is. Isn't that a pretty bag? I love this bag. I love the bright colors on the black. And I love the owl teapots. The other teapots are pretty too, but it's an owl teapot bag. And this is my Arwen's Hooded Cow project from the Thorns Hooded Cow pattern. And I did a little bit of work on this. I'm not sure. I think it might be on the purl row. Let me see. No, I'm on the last knit row before I hit a purl row. So, yeah, this is in the blue slate colorway. This is Miss Babs yarn, and I'm using the needles that it's called for, even though I think the pattern was originally done in a worsted or an Aran. So this is a little bit lighter because Miss Babs Yowza is a DK. It's a little bit lighter than maybe it would have been normally, but I like the way it's turning out.
Well, I like the lighter ones that I've been wearing, because a lot of times that provides just enough warmth. And personally, because I have a lot of scalp tenderness, because sometimes it doesn't matter. I'll even get scalp tenderness with that sometimes. So a heavier weight probably isn't the best all the time for me, although I would like to eventually make a heavier weight one for going outside.
Right. And I might do that eventually with maybe, I don't know about my bulky yarn, but maybe an Aran weight.
Right, like the purple I'm using for Laura's.
Right.
And I do love how that one works. I need to work on that again because I'm on the hood.
Right. Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about this. I mean, it's just, it's just more of the same. I'm just going round and round and round. And right now I'm on the last knit row before I hit the purl row, and then I'll do more knit rows and, go from there. Hopefully, I'm not overly far from starting to do the hood, but I have to sit down and do it. This is another one that might come with me to the doctor's office because it's pretty much a straight, knit. So, what to say about that?
I'm just trying to make sure I find there we go. I thought it was this bag. So my next one is in my Debbie Reese Designs. I call this my sunflowers bag, even though these aren't sunflowers.
The Spicy Mama bag.
Yes, got it from Spicy Mama.
Who is
her name was actually Spicy Homemaker at the time. That was the name of her podcast, but we kept forgetting calling her Spicy Mama.
She got a kick out of that.
Yeah, and then we just started doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
So
that's why.
These are my Ruddy duck socks. The pattern is Not Just Boring Boot Socks. And now Dad could possibly wear this.
Yes, possibly. He might not like the variegation.
Right, and that's why I'm not.
You have to ask him if he would wear something like that,
Because, I mean, at this point, I'm too far to. I mean, I could pull it back and use it for him, but I always rather.
No, for future reference, you
Yeah,
know.
I will probably keep this for myself and still want you to do like the maroon because he already had something similar to this.
No, what I'm saying is that you wouldn't change that. You just keep
Yeah,
doing it for yourself. Just, Dad, what do you think of this kind of yarn? You
yeah,
know, and talk, you know.
because he's hard sometimes because he doesn't really like a lot going on. That's why I have to do. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
I tend to make
go
ribbons
ahead.
anyway for him.
But yeah, well, he'll go downstairs and he'll look at my yarn that's hanging, and he'll say, "I don't like the one with the variegated, but everything else is really pretty." And that's why one time he went downstairs, and I had one that was more variegated. He liked that one. I was like, "I thought you didn't like that kind of stuff." So, yeah, but I like that one. So it's
But
hard to.
sometimes he likes it, but it won't be something he would wear because I don't think he would wear some of the brighter ones on his feet that you've dyed up.
No, I'm just my point is that he doesn't even like it necessarily, and he
Mm-hmm.
likes this particular one.
Yeah,
So he can have, well, like anybody else, the exception that proves the rule.
yeah,
So
yeah. But yes, these are my Ready Duck socks. The Not Just Born Boot Socks pattern by Corinne Walcher. And I mean, when I actually work on this works up really quickly. Sometimes when I get tired or I get I'm headed towards sensory overload, my vision will get a little wavery. So if I'm working fingering weight, I'll actually have trouble seeing the stitches,
mhm,
like or where I'm supposed to go because my vision's becoming an issue. But I can usually work this for a little while before I had to completely quit because I descend completely into sensory overload.
right.
But because the stitches are larger on this, um, I have a little bit more time.
Okay. Let me just
But yeah.
finish the stitch here. Ty, is this close to the color you want, or you want something different? It's not, you can't really see it very well, but this the slate blue
Well,
that.
what I'm thinking of is actually, like I said, it's lighter blue, and I'm not sure what it's called. It's a subdued lighter blue. When you're doing yours, I'll try to look up and find it.
Okay. Let's see here. All right, my next one is in my Country Roads blanket. Thank you. I think it was either Jody or Steph who said they have faith in me that I'll finish this blanket. I appreciate that. It makes me happy. This is in my B Wings Country Road my B Wings country bag. Okay. Love this bag. B Wing gave it to me. Thank you, Brittany. And this is the Country Roads blanket project from the Jelly Roll blanket pattern by K.F. Jones. And I did a fair amount of work on this one actually. I'm still in the same square, I think, the last time I showed you, but I worked on it during the live stream. So I made some progress. Let me show you guys here. I wish you could see the colors better. The lighting isn't really good on this. You can't really see, but this is a Mad Tosh, I think, and you could tell just by the way it just has that feel to it. I'm pretty sure it's Mad Tosh. Ty, I think, gave it to me. And this is getting pretty long. I think what I'm going to do, Taya, in terms of measurement, is I'm 5'5", standing up. I'm not
Yes,
going to cover my hair with it. I'm not
right.
going to cover my head. So if I make it 5'5" or 5'6", this, make it 66 inches,
It'll
that should
be
be
more
fine.
than enough room at your feet.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I like
So,
enough room at my feet. Sometimes I wish I made my mitered square a little bit longer.
your what square?
Um, my mitered square, sometimes I wish I made it a little bit longer.
Oh,
If I didn't have the edging on it, I would add more squares. But I
right.
do think I needed the edging still.
Yes,
Because it didn't look quite finished.
yes. And I cut all the threads that were attached, the threads, the yarns that were attached to skeins or balls or whatever. And I only have the one attached that I'm actually working on. I still have to weave in the ends of this. And but it's moving along. This is fun. Again, this is another one that will probably come with me to the doctor's office because sometimes we can have, 2, 3 hours in there. So I
Right.
get my projects worked on, I listen to, podcast or whatever and do.
Although it's been quicker lately, they should be sending me pretty soon a link to do the paperwork ahead of time because that's what they've been doing.
Mhm,
And then they get me in and out.
mhm.
I'm actually really surprised they haven't sent it yet. Well, I guess usually they send it about a week beforehand. Now, Mom, I sent you the color I was thinking of. They call it Air Force Blue.
Okay,
At least
so,
that's what this one place calls it.
well, I have to just let me I keep forgetting to put my pattern back with the project.
Mm-hmm. And it's
Okay,
my turn, right?
yes, because I don't have much to say about the yarn on this because of scraps. I mean, I have Mad Tosh, I have Miss Baz, I have my yarn. I mean, this one and this one and this one and this one are all
It's
mine.
probably the most you've knit with your yarn like ever.
Yep. I think I might have knit a crocheted a toy in my yarn a couple times. Yeah, I can see patches, or not patches, snickerdoodles from here. And snickerdoodles was in my yarn.
Yeah, because Patches wasn't. Patches was a yarn you purchased for charity or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
She had kind of a fundraiser.
yeah. So, in my um cowgirl bag that I won from Cappy 913, Kathy.
She
She no longer has her podcast. It's been years.
was knit nerd, wasn't she?
I want to say she was Knit Nerd.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the print up here does make me think of cows, even though cow spots don't look quite like that. And then of course everything else with the pink and the guitars and the cowgirl boots and the hat, cowgirl hat. I'm not normally a pink person, but I think this is a cute bag.
That's a super cute bag.
And this is going to always hold my shorty socks, I think, because it doesn't have a whole lot of the short socks don't require a whole lot of yarn, and
Hmm.
that's perfect for that bag. And this holds like I've had this first shorty sock done for a while. These are my highlighter bubble gum shorties. Um, and
That's so
I
cute.
sometimes just if my feet are hot, I just want a little something to put on my feet when I get out of bed or whatever. But
Right.
I don't want to have a whole leg for whatever reason.
Exactly.
Particularly at night, sometimes I'll get my feet. This would happen more when I'd sit up a lot, probably because I was getting blood pooling, um, where my feet would feel like they were burning. But if
Right.
I didn't have something on my feet, the neuropathy wouldn't like the feel of the carpet on my feet. So I had to find an appropriate sock, and I can't find my other pair of shorty socks. I probably put a hole in them. So right now, the only pair of shorty socks I can find is one, and that's a pair that I was given.
Is that the one that
Um,
Margaret gave you?
hmm,
Is that the one that Margaret gave you?
yes,
Yeah.
I couldn't find a pattern with the little tab that she had because I do like that tab.
Ask her. It's not like she's not on WhatsApp. Ask her.
Yeah, but yeah, so this really blows out the camera.
Hmm.
This is the colorway's Dragons Roar. And this is I would have to look up which one of them it is. Okay, yeah, this is Dragon Horde yarn. Um,
The
I'm
daughter
not.
did that
I'm
one.
sorry. It's Dinosaurs Roar, not Dragons Roar.
Yeah, that's the
Dinosaur
daughter.
Dinosaurs Roar and it's Dragon Horde yarn. And Laura, who gave this to me, was saying that this is. I don't think she does these bright colors anymore. This is a way out of her normal
Yeah, she doesn't
color
usually do that. Yeah,
palette.
that's Tristan, I think.
Yeah,
Not the
because the mother does more the brighter colors.
I don't think she
Uh,
did a lot of brighter colors either. I don't think her palette.
Apparently, she's gone more brighter.
Oh, has she?
From what I understand from Laura, or maybe that's what I remember from Laura. That I
I,
might be completely off base. And then I
I have to go
guess,
back and check her Yard Cafe Creations.
and her sister, I think, has a shop.
Yeah,
Actually,
I don't know what her sister's is. I know Laura told me, but I didn't have a way of writing it down at that point, and I forgot what it
yeah,
is.
because like it's a whole family thing. I think a couple of other of the family members have shops. I do like checking out the art because then you see different styles and all that. Um, but yeah, that's the first sock. It's fun. I'm trying to do it in a way that it doesn't blow out the camera, but it's going to blow out the camera anyway.
It's
It's this
just
really
bright.
bright highlighter yellow. I think at this angle you see a little bit of it, and then has the pops of like greenish color
Mhm.
and orange and a little bit of like a maroony color every once in a while. Um, but this is a perfect sock for like a little bit of a pattern, but not too much. I couldn't do a plain sock with it. I'd probably get bored.
And that's nothing to do with the sock. It just has something to do with the, you
Right.
know,
It's you have to choose the right yarn for the right pattern. And here's the there we go. You can kind of see the patterning. It's hard because this color
yeah,
blows
it looks
out.
like diamonds almost.
Yeah. And this is a very fun pattern to knit. I probably will make this pattern fairly often, just because for one thing, that it tells you what how much your yarn should weigh when you start. So
That's not
that
KF Jones, is it?
no, this was one I think it's actually a free pattern because I
Okay.
most of my shorty socks are free patterns. Um, because I got this one off of Lovecrafts. Whoops, this does not belong in here. Let me put this one where it belongs. You have your pattern in here. Okay. This one belongs, oh, probably belongs in here. No, other one. Okay. It belongs in the sunflower one. Then I mean, this is not the not just boring boot socks pattern. Yeah. Well, no, it doesn't. Okay, I had to find one of my not just boring boot socks patterns lost its pattern.
Uh,
I try to keep the pattern in with the project now. Yeah, I had to find which of my not just boring suits is missing its pattern.
right.
Okay, so this is actually I believe it was a free pattern at Lovecrafts. I can't remember for sure, but this is Bubblegum Shorties by Sarah R. And yeah, I mean, it's nice because she does tell you at the beginning, you know, approximately, it's just depending on your length of your foot, you'll need approximately 55 grams.
Right.
And I try to
Uh-huh.
go on the longer side of that. Um, just because, or I try to go heavier than that just because I have a long foot.
Mhm.
Um, now granted, now yeah, I do the nine. I do the 9 inch around because that's approximately if it is a ribbing, like the not just wearing boot socks, I can do an 8 because it stretches quite a bit. But
Right.
9 is generally what's best for my foot. That's generally what I knit for K's. And you knit with US zeros
Ugh, that sounds
for
awful
this.
to me.
Um,
I'd shoot myself. I had to do zeros. That's the thing to poke
it's
your eye
actually
out.
not bad. This is my first time doing socks on zeros. I've like I said, never done that before, but
One of the reasons
I don't mind it.
one of the reasons I wrote Pat when she gave me the pattern for her new cowl, I said, "Can I do a different weight yarn? Because if I have to do size one needles, I think I'll kill myself." So I just have to, you know, uh, you know, I'm going to use a bigger yarn. She said, "Yeah, you can use whatever yarn you want as long as you keep in mind that the size will be different and the amount of yarn will be different and all that." So that's fine. I knew that, so that's not a problem. I just wanted to make sure that it wouldn't affect anything too much. I probably wouldn't go bigger than a support or a DK with it, but yeah, I just the idea of using a size one was like, yeah, I don't think so,
Well,
because
that's
it's not as bad in terms of like the crochet in terms of finding the stitch because it's on the needle, but it's for me it's the
grip.
fact that when I have this kind of a handle on all my hooks, no matter how small, I can use that if it wasn't for being able to see the stitch. But when you have a needle that's really small, the needle's the size of the needle, and you
Right,
can't
you
do it.
can't change that.
Yeah, you can't change it. And my hands just don't like it sometimes if I have to do something repetitive with a very, very small object because they cramp. So, but yeah, that's my yeah. But that was your project. You have anything more to say about that?
Nope, not really, and that's my last project.
Okay, so my last project is in my PHN Silver Shed USA 10-year anniversary bag. And I think this is the large, maybe the extra large. I'm not sure because I don't have them both together. One or the other. This is my Spring Flowers baby blanket. And this is from the Cerebel Scarf Pattern by Sarah Sweethearts. And anybody who's been with us for any length of time knows I do almost everything with this pattern. If I could figure out how to do a sweater in this pattern, I might, because I think it would be really pretty as a sweater. You may have to be a little tighter in the stitches, and you'd probably have to wear something underneath it, but it would be a nice summer sweater or spring sweater or something like
You see,
that.
I wouldn't like a sweater in that. Mm-mm.
In this pattern.
I don't like sweater. I think it would be too holy.
Well, that's my point. It has to be a spring or summer. For me, this is something I would like because I get so cold in the summer when I go to like shops and things. It's like having a lightweight shawl. You just stick it on and it covers my arms and stuff and it's not hot.
Well, you almost had to make, in my head, the only way that would work as a sweater is like one of those ones you see people wear over Easter dresses,
Mm-hmm.
where it's sometimes they're even short, like they stop
Yeah.
at
Yep.
the
Top.
ribs. Um, and they're
Like,
not usually, like I said, you see them with like spring dresses. Um, and that
I
would be
have no
cute as that.
I have no problem with a longer thing like this as long as it's like with like you said it has to be like either with a summery kind of top or a sundress or something or Easter outfit or something. Um, some of
You
them
can
do weird.
sometimes see that in the professional side. I think one of the sweaters I gave you when I was working might have had a similar. I can't remember. I gave you a couple of really nice sweaters I had from when I was working.
I don't have anything that's short.
No, it wasn't one of it short. I think it was longer.
Uh-huh.
And maybe it did there wasn't one with that kind of pattern. I know there's the really pretty yellow one I gave you.
Oh yeah, the gold one I wear all the time.
Yeah, the gold one has a really pretty cut to it too.
You have a couple of those sweaters that I really like that I wear all the time.
Well, they
Um,
look like your style, and I just don't have any reason to wear sweaters like that here at home. Whereas you go out a lot more than I do. It's really a waste of nice clothing for me not to wear them and just have them hanging in my closet.
they're
Um,
a little big on me because you're bigger across the shoulders,
yes.
but I don't care. So,
Mhm.
if people see that as big, oh well. But anyway, I did say the bag, and this is my blanket, and it's growing. It's really close to being done. I started the second ball of yarn, and I'm gonna have plenty to make another blanket or two. How many skeins I have? Probably another blanket. And I'll probably have some left over because what I might do with this, because I have, well, depends on what different weights I have, but I could do a scrappy baby blanket later. Not of this necessarily, because I'm not sure how well this would work with a scrappy. It probably works beautifully. It works well with everything, but
Hmm.
um, and just kind of put them all together. I like this for baby blankets. It's very very nice in terms of it's an acrylic, but it's soft,
Hmm.
and it's not scratchy for the baby. So I'm really happy with the way this turns out. Like I said, I use this for everything. This is extremely light. I don't usually you do it quite this drapey. And I don't know if I'll do another one this drapey. But this if this had been in white, it would have been really nice as a baptismal blanket
Hmm.
because it's more like an air, for show or whatever. But you can see it grows this way, so you can see that it's close to being finished.
Yeah.
So yeah, and this one will probably go with me as well. It's the five that I have out is usually what I take with me. That's why you
Hmm.
keep seeing them week after week. I bringing toys and stuff is kind of a headache right now because I have to make the faces and things, and I just don't feel like dealing with that in a waiting room full
Hmm.
of people, especially when I don't know if Ty's gonna be going quick or not. So I just stick with the things that are a little less not complicated, but just that you have to pay a little more attention because eyes and color work and all that kind
Right,
of stuff.
right.
Yeah, so I love Ty's patterns for toy patterns. Um,
But there is a little bit more paying attention when you're at the face.
yep. Okay, so this takes care
Because
of
if you get out count off of count, it does make a difference.
it. Does it does? Okay, so let me put this away. I know now that I have stuff that I've worked on to show you. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know who that is, but oh, I think my phone buzzes on the hour, like one
Hmm.
o'clock, or whatever. 'Cause it's 1 o'clock right now. Um, oh no, somebody messaged me. Did you message me? Oh yeah, you
I
showed
sent
me.
you the blue that I was
Oh,
talking
okay,
about,
yeah. Okay, let's
the
see
Air
here.
Force blue.
Oh yeah, there.
And it's not giving it a really good show. It
No,
looks brighter there.
that's showing it almost on my screen. I don't know about you, Ty, but on my screen it looks almost like a turquoise. It's
Yeah, which
not.
it's not.
It's almost a federal blue. It's that Air Force blue. So which is good because he was in the Air Force.
Yeah, I mean, you can almost call it, something
I
like
like um what's the thing for the Air Force now? They changed all the slogans.
because it used to
Um,
be,
Air High, I think it was.
yeah, I think you're right. I think it used to be aim high. I think it's something stupid now.
No, the Army has the stupid one.
Oh, it does.
It's Army of One or something.
Yeah.
Like you can't be an Army of One. Why would you say that? Um, they're doing the Army a disservice with that slogan. Um,
I don't
okay,
actually know what the old army slogan was.
I don't remember.
I don't think the Marines changed theirs because they're still Semper Fi or whatever, right?
That's not, but that's not their. That's something else.
Oh, okay.
Um, okay, I'm done with projects.
Okay, so let's see. Um, and I am too. Do you have anything for journal? For
I do. Do you?
no. I
Okay.
need to, but I don't.
This time I was on Sundays, usually when I get a chance to maybe do journaling, and I've been working so hard on the religious journal, I thought I wanted to do something in my Eeyore journal. And I learned something because following someone on Instagram, I think it was, she said, I found a page to do the page I wanted to work on. Like, oh, I don't have to go in order. I can go wherever I want. So here's my Eeyore journal that the lovely Stacy gave to me. Isn't that gorgeous? I absolutely love it because Eeyore is one of my favorites. I absolutely love him. Um, Here's all the stuff I still need to be using. So I went until I found the page I want in the middle, almost, well, not in the middle, but this far into the book. Um, so can you see that okay? Here I've got, it says tea time with friends. And my little owl that I drew and my little leaf that I drew. And this is some washi tape that I'm still figuring out how to use. This came with a T-spot order. This is deluxe. It says deluxer, but part of it's covered up with our little pen hook and needles, our old thing here. And this is Adagio. And then this is a scrap review for Hobbits in the Shire. So that's what that is. So, and I showed it to Daddy. He thought it was cool. So that's what I did. I did the 2 pages on Sunday. I really like this background. So I thought it looked like a tea shop. So yeah, so this is a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. Um, I skipped about, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 pages because that's what I wanted to do. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm
Okay.
enjoying it.
Um, I was just trying to find it. It looks like from what I gather, they just adjusted it because this is 2010. That's old. So that aim high was in 2010.
I was wondering what you're talking about.
Well, I was trying to find out what the aim high's been a while.
Yeah, well, they all had. They all underwent a change. Like after we came back from England, I think they all went in had a change. Because used to know what all of them were.
Well,
Um,
2010 would be correct for Air Force, which would be aim high
mhm.
because it says it was unveiled in 2010. Um, so just want to see what the old one was since that one's a new one. Uh,
I'm sorry, guys, I have allergies. Apologize.
okay, so they also adjusted it so that it's aim high, fly, fight, win. For oh, I want to say I don't know when it was. The sky's no limit. I think it's an
I
old
don't
one.
remember that one. I don't remember
I
that
think
one.
that's an old one.
Yeah.
Um. Oh, cross into the blue. I seem to remember that one at one point.
I don't remember that one either.
Maybe. Uh, I'm trying to find the. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of ones here. The only one that really seems familiar is even more than I probably am misremembering The Sky's No Limit, but I feel like I remember Crossing to the Blue. Because I remember thinking that was stupid. Um,
I don't remember that one at all.
but Aim High is the most common one showing up.
Mhm.
So it
Aim
sounds like
higher.
Aim High end up coming back again. Uh, oh, here we go. What are the miles for all six? I'm so curious. Now, this is from 2021, so this is up to date. Um, okay, Army is This Will Defend. So they changed it.
That's better. Yeah, the other one was so stupid. Yeah.
Um, it was first used in 1778, so I guess maybe they went back. Marine Corps Semper Fidelis, always faithful. U.S. Navy technically doesn't have an official model, but they have some say it's non sibi sed patri, not self but country.
Mhm.
But it's unofficial.
Mhm. Well, Navy and Marines are tied together.
Yes. Well, Marines are just a branch off of the Navy.
Right. Mhm.
Not just that you never say just
No,
about
no,
Marines.
not about
Uh,
Marines. No, you don't want the Marines knocking on your door for that one.
yeah. So uh Air Force Aim High, Fly Fight Win. And that was 2010. Coast Guard is Semper Paratus, always ready. I think that works. Space Force, is there even a Space Force anymore? Semper Supra, always above.
That might be the NASA program or something.
Yeah, I wonder because they disbanded NASA, didn't they?
No,
Okay, I thought Obama did. Or he defunded it or something.
I think it's still going. I thought I heard about some kind of something or other recently.
Well, maybe it's a space. Well, NASA is a space program, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, because I thought that they got rid of the space program. I don't know. But yeah, those are all the models. Actually, they're not bad right now. I
I may
thought,
have to. I may have to have you send that to me because I could maybe do a whole
oh, that would be cool. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'll have to send it to you.
honoring our veterans, our men in service, or men and women in service.
Yeah, no, that would be cool because they definitely have colors that are easier, you know,
Yep.
because you can go off the uniforms.
Yep.
Um, and not the ones that everyone can wear, which is like I think just about everyone can wear the camo.
Mhm.
But if you go off of like their dress ones, like the blue for the Air Force, I don't because Marines
Marines
is
are
like the nice
black,
black and white,
black,
isn't it?
mhm. Black and gold and white. It's
Yeah, theirs is snappy. Theirs is
mhm.
nice.
You
I
know,
don't know. I don't know what the Army's.
green.
Uh,
I think it's
huh?
green. I think
Is
it's
it
green.
green?
I think
Okay.
it's yeah. I think it's green. The dress
I've never
uniform.
seen
I've
like
never seen an army dress uniform. Only regular
I'm
uniform.
sure they have it.
Oh,
I
yeah,
just
they do.
never
Of course they
seen
do.
it.
Of course they do.
But I also yeah, for whatever reason, Army doesn't get very well represented on at least as far as I can tell on screen. Usually if they are, they're in the camo because they're in action.
Army gets the Navy gets the gravy, and the Army gets the
Army gets
beans.
the
Beans,
beans.
beans.
Yes.
That is a reference.
Yes, and we need to tell the reference.
That
Um,
At War with the Army.
yes,
I think,
that's an old movie. That's Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. Not our favorite comedy duo.
but they're funny in that.
Well, that one is funny. Honestly, you could do that movie and not have Dean Martin in it. Even though I love Dean Martin.
Oh, I love Dean Martin. Yeah. Mhm.
I just don't like him paired with Jerry Lewis,
Well,
even
it's
though they
kind of the
were,
same dynamic you have with Abbott and Costello.
which I also don't care for.
Yeah,
I
I
much
mean
prefer Laurel and Hardy for their
they're more
dynamic.
even. They're more even.
There's not the meanness that you kind of feel with the Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis, and the Abbott and
Abbott and
Costello, where
Costello.
one of them definitely has like a superior feeling to him. It just feels like he's punching down.
Yeah,
And then the other partner, particularly with Costello, almost feels petty sometimes.
yeah.
Um, he's mean in his own way. Whereas with Laura and Hardy, you actually feel like they like each other in their own way.
Well,
even
they're
though
always partners in crime. They're equal partners in crime,
and I
and they
mean,
get into
yes,
trouble together.
yes, and yes, uh Hardy will get exasperated and look at the screen and be like, look what I have to deal with. But
Why don't you do something to help me?
it's a very delicate help. There's
That's another interesting story that we're
hand,
going through every
very
time.
delicate hand
Yes.
movements.
Oh, Stanny.
For a long time I don't think he spoke, right?
Oh, he did. Yeah, he did. He did. I love his
Okay.
what's it? Ears and
But
kneesy
that was
nose.
in the movie. That was in the
That was
movie.
in the Christmas movie.
Yeah. Oh, it's uh
With Little Bo Peep and Baby
yeah,
Toilet. Baby
it's something
Toilet.
to do with the soldiers.
March of the Wooden Soldiers.
March of the
March
Wooden
of the Wooden
Soldiers.
Soldiers. I love the you know.
But I don't remember him talking a whole lot. I have something in my tongue. I think it's fiber. I don't remember him talking a whole lot in the like in the black and white shows.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
Also, I
He
remember
said,
him doing like things like this
oh yeah,
and
he
like
did. He did, but that didn't even talk. He might not have talked as much as Ollie, but Ollie was the verbose one.
yeah, that's true. I mean,
So
a
yeah,
lot of what I think about with Stanny is like him accidentally. Well, every once in a while, he actually would purposely hit Ollie, but a lot
well,
of
I
times
just
he like
always think of him
tore
taking
Ollie's clothes or
his pants. Every guy always got ripped. His pants, Ollie's pants.
his co- I don't know what's wrong with Ollie's tailor because Ollie's clothes just always tear. I mean,
Yeah,
either that or Stanley's like Superman, and with,
doesn't know his own wiry strength.
I mean, like Ollie's clothes just can't stay untorn. I don't know what's up there. But anywho, I
I
don't have
want to
anything
be
for
married to him.
I don't have anything for journals. I don't have well, shop news. My only shop news is the fact that I'm not open yet. I've opened very briefly, just long enough to get accept when someone's order for repair.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
had
try
that
to
in the
move,
works. You
huh?
had that works that you had in the works before surgery. You told her you had to wait.
Yes, yes, and she had been very patient. So I figured it's also a good segue into getting into opening the shop again because I'm not quite ready to have um there was a period of time where it seemed like I finished one order and then I get another order, and I'm not quite ready for that because I sacrifice beads orders. Once people get started, I can be doing sacrifice bead after sacrifice bead after sacrifice. Like that's my most popular order. Um,
Especially now with Christmas coming up. Advent
right,
Christmas.
and I will open before Christmas again. I probably will open in November. I'm thinking,
Mm-hmm.
at the latest. But um, yeah, so I want to do hers first. And I'm also moving towards, other than the sacrifice beads and the wooden rosaries, I'm trying to move more towards the thicker cord because I use stainless steel. And I just got in for her rosary, um, the rose beads with a larger hole. Um, I know some of my rosaries I won't be able to do that because the Our Father beads do not come with a larger hole, and I might slowly begin like getting rid of those particular ones, even though they're nice. I don't. I want the roses to be able to hold together.
I'm hoping Davina, don't eat lunch yet. um, I'm sorry, guys. I can hear her making lunch. Um, I want to show you here what I'm hoping that Ty will get more of this kind. This one, because this one can go pretty much.
Because I don't think any special beads on that.
No, I'm talking about the centerpiece.
Oh well, yeah, the centerpiece is fine. Also for centerpieces, if even if this hole is small, I'd have the double ring. I have a double ring like I'm not sure what to call it, but
And the little
yeah,
rings, the rings.
yeah, they're little rings, but it's got instead of when you have like a medal or something, they
Right.
just uh or a pendant. A lot of times they'll just have it where it has like it'll open. You see with stitch markers where it'll open because it was only two metal things that touched. But then sometimes you'll have the nicer ones, where you'll have it go around. You'll have actually a double
Mhm.
of the metal, and
I don't know if those are kind of a jump ring, a smaller jump ring, or what those are called, but I know what you're talking about.
I don't currently have. I don't
I
have a
have one
lot of
on
things.
I have one on my crucifix, but I can't show you. Let's see if I can
I
find
don't
some.
think you have a double on there.
No.
Um, well, yeah, here's one. Here's one. I have one on Laura's. So, not sure if you can tell, but
Yeah,
you
it's
see,
like a keychain. It's like a keychain
yeah,
where
it's
you
more
have.
like a keychain one. Um, and I have those, and I use them on the if I have a centerpiece that has the holes too small, I can put one of those little keychain type
Right.
on there, and then all of a sudden we have a bigger hole. But I can't do that with um beads that are too small. So I'm eventually going to begin getting those out of the shop. Just because it really I want my rosaries to hold up.
Right. For my shop, I know I keep saying this, I have not been able to find time to dye yarn. Um, I have I have like 6 or 8 skeins I have to reskein, and I have like 10 or 12, maybe 10 or 12 skeins to list in my shop. That I just haven't had the time.
Yeah, and
So
I know I really do need at some point. I'll pay for it. I just need something, either the Air Force blue, if you don't want to figure that out yet. One of your maroony ready colors, because I want to get Dad's socks started for Christmas.
okay, okay. Yeah, it has to be sport weight.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I need it to work up faster.
Now, while I'm sitting here trying to figure out what I want to make, because once I get going, I won't be able to do as much of this. But if you have something that you want that I make, and that if I still have the recipe, I can try to do that for you in whatever base I have. I pull back a little bit on the special orders when I start getting busy, but as long as I'm not super busy, or if I'm just on a roll, I might be able to do a special order for you. So just let me know if that's something you might want to do. Keep in mind that I'm working around doctor's appointments and things, but if I have orders that come up, they will be a priority. I will put aside knitting, I will put aside writing, I will put aside everything except things that deal with my family to get that done. If you do some kind of special order. Uh, and like I said, I can do that for as long as I'm not super busy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So moving on.
Really quickly, Master Hunt is probably too light for Dad, right?
Uh,
Because I have some of that.
it might, you know what might be actually better is don't be hasty.
I don't have any of that. I was trying because the only one I have in sport weights that's already dyed up is Master the Hunt.
Mhm.
So I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter which one you dye up. You know, if you go with the red, or if you go with the green, or if you go with the federal blue. I just need, or the sorry, Air Force. I just need a color for Dad.
Right,
Your pick of, what you think he'd like. I just don't want a gray or a brown, because he already has those.
right. I thought I had black.
Okay, maybe it's a black. I think you're right. It might be a black and
Like
a
black with
gray.
like blues in it and stuff like that.
Yeah, it actually has like a little bit of variation to it. And then there's a gray, like
But
a paler
it's
gray.
more like pops. It's not like these big splashes. It's kind of like a Mad Tosh. Okay.
Yeah, even though it
Um,
wasn't a Mad Tosh.
no,
And
it reminds me of that square that I showed you that's with Mad Tosh, and that has like these little pops, and
yeah,
it's almost like a tonal as opposed to more colors.
but it was so subtle that he was okay with it. And then I did the gray, which really was a plain gray, and I almost pulled my hair out because it was so boring.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's why another reason why I don't want to do a fingering sock for him, because it's going to be a pretty plain yarn. Um,
At least he likes the shorty socks.
yes, he does like shorter ones, but still, yeah, I was ready to pull my hair out with the gray.
Okay. Um, let's see.
Well,
Do you have any
that's
royalties?
shop, so that's pretty much that's us finished, isn't it?
Royalties.
Oh, royalties. I have no royalties,
I
so
do. Um, Talia had gotten something from Deluxe, a notification, which made me go and check to see what I needed with Plum Deluxe. I don't buy a lot from Plum Deluxe anymore, not because I don't like them, but because I have to choose what I can pick up. And
right.
I need to, I needed to, there are special teas that I can only get from Plum Deluxe. Um, I'm not aware of Adagio carrying it. Um, so I
Like
went,
breakfast in Paris, I can only get
mhm,
at Plum Deluxe. There's a couple.
but yeah, the
Hmm.
packaging, it makes me sad. The packaging has changed. Um, it just makes me sad. No more purple packages. Um, so
I think they're trying to decrease their cost.
among other things, also their whatever they call it, their footprint or whatever.
Carbon
Um,
footprint.
yeah, whatever it's called. I don't know. I don't follow that stuff. Um, okay. So I got two each of the vanilla sugar cookie dessert tea, the Stargazer caramel mott, and the buttery shortbread, which are probably my three favorites from here, from Deluxe. So I got two each. I'm gonna just hopefully I think it's just gonna fill up my tins so I don't have to have these just wandering around. And then they sent me a summer breakfast black tea, which I'll probably get with Talia. Um,
Hmm.
so
And now that we're doing the smaller
mhm.
mugs, that would probably be fine in the smaller mug.
Yeah, I think this is a one serving type thing.
But there was a period of time where like, what do we do with this?
Hmm. And Plum Deluxe has got a new logo now. All these are old. They must have been packaged before they changed their packaging because they
But
have to
I
get.
still have some of the old
Oh,
ones.
I
Like
have some too. I do. I think I got rid of most of them, but I think I have one or two that are the really old one.
where there
But
was where it still had the teapot.
teacup, teapot, yeah,
It was a
teapot,
teapot.
yeah. But the one they're gonna have now is gonna have a hummingbird on it. So if I remember correctly, it's a hummingbird. So yeah,
Well,
so
it actually is an improvement on the one they had, which was just like a swirl.
yeah, it's like a yeah. They sent me a catalog as well.
They've been doing more of that. Like they're
Um,
really
well, they're
trying to,
branching out. They're
yeah.
getting more into like uh, they're a few like brick and mortar type things. Like they even asked if we thought we knew a tea shop that would do that. You know, I said to you I thought I would ask Vine and Leaf, but I'm not sure Vine and Leaf want to have
Well,
a
they already
different
have their own thing
in the
going
shop.
on.
Yeah, so now I might ask something like a bakery or something. The bakery has Vine and Leaf. I wouldn't want to crowd out a local.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
you got to support your local.
yeah, and I know that Plum Deluxe would understand that. And then they sent me coupon for Yarn of the Month, and I don't know what this is. It's some kind of about learning about the new look. I've already done that. I've already gotten on the new website. So yeah, I mean, I didn't buy a lot. I just wanted to stock up on that so I wouldn't have to run out of that during Christmas. And I don't know if that's going to be a danger with all my tea, but yeah, that's all I have about that. Anything else?
Um, like I said, I have no stash enhancements.
Okay, well, I guess we're done. We don't really have anything live, and Davina's waiting for us to eat. So um, we really don't have anything live because we have a doctor appointment next week. There's nothing really much to say unless you have something to tell you real quick.
No, I mean honestly, it's just recovery, and it is happening. It's just that it's hard to tell what are my normal baseline pot symptoms and what's recovery. I mean, I did have a day where I just randomly had uh a fair amount of pain, like, but the next day it went away. So I'm not sure if it was just like weather. I don't know why that day was particularly painful.
We did have weather coming in, if I remember
Uh,
correctly. So,
I think you're right because I woke up the next day and it was raining.
because I had
Um,
problems that day too, not to your extent, but I had, more in certain areas. Not
so
as much
I
as I
mean,
expect.
I know that part of it is because it's a newer wound, but I know I have some hardware that was placed
Mhm.
so that might not be to that level every time that gets really bad, but I might always have some pain
Right.
when it
That's something
gets
to learn to live with. Okay.
right.
All right. So, Yeah, I think that's basically all. Maybe we should start a thread for people to discuss what they want to make for Christmas and stuff like that, or what they're making for not nothing necessarily for prizes, just chatter and pictures if you want to, talking about what you think you might want to make for the holidays or what your plans are for the holidays, kind of a general holiday chat kind of
Right,
thing.
just to yeah, what you can include Thanksgiving in there too.
Oh yeah, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah,
Yeah, just um
whatever it is that you
fall winter
celebrate.
holidays.
Hmm?
Like fall and winter holidays.
All the winter holidays, right? So, all the way
Um
through, we might leave it open all the way through Valentine's Day, you know.
yeah, yeah, because that's still included. Um and
I
then
don't
that would kind yeah,
I
it would
don't
just
want to go
kind of
much
be
further than that, but, huh?
it'd just be kind of a nice, relaxing sort of thing.
Hmm. And
Because
I don't
it
want to go much further than that though, because once you start hitting like St. Patrick's Day and all that, you start hitting these
well,
minor holidays.
that's spring.
That's spring. So I want to say like through Valentine's Day, you
Yeah,
know.
that because that ends the fall and winter.
Hmm. So if you want,
Once you get into St. Patrick's Day, you're not in fall and winter anymore.
yeah. So we say, the holiday season, fall and winter season, talk about recipes, uh, you know, gift wrapping, wrapping ideas. I saw something on Instagram that was really amazing for different ways of wrapping packages, and there was no way of saving it. I think actually it was on Facebook, when you do those feeds, and it showed all these
Oh, yeah.
neat ways of wrapping things. I'm like, wow, I wouldn't I surprise Daddy if I could do something like that? Because I hate wrapping things. Davina wraps all my gifts for me except her own. So, um, but anyway, yeah. So that's that. We do want to thank the people who commented. Now, once again, my usual disclaimer applies. If I'm not mentioning you, I didn't see you, because you know it got you weren't there when I put it together for the podcast. So want
I'm
to
really proud of myself. I actually responded to everyone this time.
Yeah, so did I. We were on top of things.
Well, the thing is, you're always like good about that. I'm
No,
always
well, a lot of
awful
times
about it.
I try to, but a lot of times, like last time, I think it was, I just liked everything. I meant to go back and comment, but
Well,
sometimes
one
I
of the
think,
hard things, because you don't come up as the content creator, they can't tell who it was who liked it. I
mhm,
need to make sure, even if I can't comment, that I do the heart thing because that's what the only the content creator can do, the one who has the channel.
mhm,
And that tells them, yes, you got some sort of response from us.
right. So I try to make sure at least, even though you can't see who it is, I tend to at least like everything. Then I'll go back and try to write. A lot of times, if I see it, I'll try to do it when I see it. But I had actually had a conversation with one of the ladies, kind of a mini conversation with one of the ladies. I hope she saw my last response. Um, but we want to thank everybody, whether I saw you or not, for commenting. We always appreciate it, whether you're on PHN or you're at the YouTube channel. We really
Yes.
appreciate any and all comments. Um, want to thank Leanie Stitches, Eileen Warm Wishes, Looney Hiker, Christina, Jedediah, Wendy, who is MacGyver, and Brittany. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
So now there's nothing special going on this Friday. So we're just going to wish you all a very wonderful, blessed week full of knitting and crocheting and whatever it is that makes you happy. It's fall. Enjoy it. Um, this is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast episode. What did I say it was? 525?
Oh, I can't remember.
I have to go back. It is episode 526. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast episode 526. And that's a wrap.
Bye.
God bless.